Hello and welcome into the first Sun Devil Source 2-minute drill here at Camp Tontozona. I'm Jacob Brooks. That's our Sun Devil Source publisher, Chris Cartman. Chris, it is beautiful weather, beautiful scenery out here at Camp T. Kenny Dillingham was talking about how the team's already been experiencing things. There was elk eating their hay. There was a tarantula that guys were trying to catch. Whole lot of stuff going on. He also said that today was intentionally a lighter practice, with tomorrow aiming to be one of the heaviest, most physical practices of the entirety of fall camp, both on and off the field. What have you kind of gathered from Camp T so far?
Well, look, I'm not squinting into the camera.
I know, this is very different than yesterday's.
I'm not sweating whatsoever. Yeah. People in the valley should be jealous of what we're experiencing up here, because it was really good to start today. Yeah. Kenny Dillingham, though, he had a little bit of a rough night because he said that he couldn't get down from his bunk in a room with 9 people to get to the bathroom.
So he just had to hold it.
Yeah, and then the follow-up question was, you're staying in a cabin in the bunk? And he said, well, look, we're not going to subject our players to being in these kind of difficult living conditions.
And not do it yourself.
We're going to go somewhere else and say, no, that's not how we do it.
That's real.
Yeah, so Dillingham is an extremely candid person. He said the conditions here are rough. In fact, all the players said that it's rougher than any place that they've lived in the past.
Yeah.
But they have fixed some issues from the past, like the food, he said, situation is really good. And it's mostly just like the living conditions, quarters. They have these portable showers that they bring in that they are able to use. And some of the players like it a lot. Reed Harris said it reminded him of Montana. And other guys they're not as nature inclined. Many of them didn't expect it to be like this.
Yeah.
They didn't even know that there was a place like this in Arizona.
Yeah.
When you're in the valley in the desert, right? But
when I moved to Arizona, I didn't know.
Yeah. So, so there's a lot of cool experiences. The bonding is going on. They caught a tarantula last night.
Yeah.
A lot of different stories about what actually really happened with that tarantula. We're still trying to get to the bottom of it.
And Chris, in terms of on the field, depth was a big talking point for both Kenny Dillingham and Brian Carrington. Both of them spoke to the media. They were talking about how a lot of those battles for those top ones positions have already kind of been sorted out, but there are other positions where battles are still going on for who's going to be the 1, who's going to be the 2, potentially who's even going to be the 3. And they said they like that. They like the ASU could end up having 15 to 20 new starters if things work out a certain way. And they like that there are a lot of guys that are still fighting to try and get on the field on Saturdays. What have you made of all those depth battles?
Yeah, look, the most important thing is, even if you're not going to be a starter, there's a lot of guys, like I would say majority of the team, who still have a chance to get second team roles. Like this freshman class is really good, so those guys are pushing. You have transfers who are younger, like I just talked to Josiah McGrew, who's a sophomore. He started last year at FIU. He's battling to try to be a starter, but if he's not going to be a starter, he wants to be the top backup at safety, right? We saw Rob Lapuaho, who's a second-year offensive lineman, didn't really play last year except for the Sun Bowl. He got some first-team reps today. Maybe he's not going to start. I don't know. You got Wade Helton. You got Mekhi Stewart, right? So there's like these battles that you see going on. Like Jaron Hamilton, probably not going to be a starter at wide receiver. He's had a really good couple of practices in a row where I feel like he's maybe turned the corner, and there's a lot of positive things that are happening for him. And everywhere you go, there's like guys battling for the 4th linebacker spot in the 2 deep. Who's going to be the top backup corner? Like what's going to happen with the 3rd offensive tackle if Champ Westbrooks and Jalen Clem end up starting there? The running back situation, we've already talked about that quite a lot. So there's more of these sort of storylines that are going on in this camp than we have in the past. But it's not a bad thing. It's because there's actually so many good players. And the depth, the development of what's happened here with younger guys, and then the transfer portal and the freshman recruiting have all combined to put this team in a pretty good situation.
And Chris, with a lighter practice today, heavier practice tomorrow, lighter day after that, and then obviously the scrimmage on Saturday, what are your expectations for the rest of Camp T and also just the rest of fall camp as things continue to progress?
Yeah, they're going to have a heavier day tomorrow, probably the heaviest day up here at Camp T. Then a lighter Friday. Saturday will be a scrimmage. People get a little bit too hopeful about what they might see on Saturday. It's usually a garden variety thing. They play really super base coverages. Why? Because if anybody's filming, you don't want everybody else to see your personnel and your coverages. And so it'll be a lot of backups, a lot of young players, but it'll still be, a fun environment. And I think more than anything, it's like the the team building, the camaraderie, the relationships, that all that stuff's developing. I think this team seems to be close, competitive. Tana Alatupuola was just saying, like at other places, maybe like you have animosity between your ones and your twos because you're fighting for a spot. And here it's like we really care about the team being good, and so if somebody else is going to be as good as me, well then that still helps the team in a positive way. So just that's something that makes Camp Tontozona special, in the ability to bring guys together. And I think in years when they haven't come up here, that seems to have been missing a little bit from those teams, like Dennis Erickson's teams. And after his first year, which was successful, he didn't come up here for a while, and then there was some of that missing. So I'm looking for that team building, and then also who's going to separate, which younger players or guys that maybe are newer to the program or are making a lot of big strides going from the spring until now.
Well, I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but there's a few small raindrops that are already hitting us. So that'll do it for this edition of the Sun Devil Source 2-Minute Drill. We appreciate everybody who tuned in. We will have a ton of post-practice coverage from day one at Camp Tontozona and tons of more coverage from the days to come. So make sure to tap in on the Devil Sanctuary board and all of our Sun Devil Source socials.